Definitely one of the things that I did not like about this exam experience was the labs. I wish I had two more thumbs to give that lab experience 4 thumbs down. I came across a stat recently, said something on average for anybody that is a beginner level, or it's your very first time taking the CCNA. I believe it's on average, it takes everybody about 2.5 attempts to pass that test. So it's been about a month since I took my most recent exam and I failed it, which was the Cisco ENARSI exams. Now that it's been a month, I had some time to reflect and try to understand and really get some clarity. So I just wanted to share that with y'all, my whole experience, like my really the insight from how I felt about taking the test to my mindset, how I developed it, and like pretty much like the strategy moving forward. Like, should I continue chasing a cert or should I just try to keep getting more experience and everything, real world experience? As far as insight, I want to provide that from the whole perspective of the exam topics or the blueprint that Cisco provides on the website. So those are where I got my scores at and everything when you get the results. Yeah, I failed and I scored around, I think it was the 50s, high 50s and low 60s in every section. I think I might have had 70 in one of the sections, but either way, the average was between high 50 percentages and low 60 percentages. So I wasn't way off. That's one of the key things that the insight that gave me. I wasn't way off. When you get that exam breakdown, those scores show you where your weaknesses and your strengths are at. You can get them through the BOSIN exams and everything like that, but the practice tests like the BOSIN exams really can break down this information with you as well, and it can really help you get some key insight, but nothing's like that test. So if you do, or you have just recently or happen to fail one of these exams, definitely lock into that exam breakdown, because that's going to be the insight. Like, that's where you weak at, that's where you strong at. So that's one of the things as far as the insight about it. And all right, after you review your key weaknesses and strengths and everything, let me explain to you a little bit more about the whole exam experience. So definitely one of the things that I did not like about this exam experience was the labs. I wish I had two more thumbs to give that lab experience 4 thumbs down. Did I lab every day? No, I didn't lab every day. So yes, you got me. I didn't lab every day. And with these kind of labs, in my personal opinion, you either have to work for some kind of, some kind of company where you're running that kind of configuration and all these kind of troubleshooting skills. If you're using them on a daily basis, yes, this exam is up to par. But if you're just studying this and you're using resources, which everybody knows is out there, is going to be only like the OCG or some other online training, on these on-demand, whatever training. Of course, I'm sure if I went and paid for the Cisco top of the notch academy training, yes, you could pass it. But if you're just going to go after like a regular, go to a guru and try to do that and try to pass this, I don't think that's going to be the key. The key with passing the labs in this NRC exam is to lab, ridiculous amounts of hours. Like, you need to know every protocol down and every command and how to troubleshoot it inside and out. I've shared with y'all my skills and everything from route redistribution that I learned and everything. Yeah, I don't know it at an in-depth level, but I definitely can troubleshoot it and I understand it at a higher level. So for them to, if they're going to give you redistribution on there, you better know every little redistribution or confederation or whatever is on that exam topic, like they said. You better know that, in my opinion. I want to add this, the little comment section. Yeah, I got down on that comment section too. I was writing stuff like, man, y'all is just robbing people of their money. I said, y'all stop playing with people. I was putting all kinds of stuff in the comment sections. I spent more time in the comment section than I did on the test. And I still got around the 50s or 60%. And I'm telling you, it was just the labs that tripped me up. All I can say is that it's the labs. Just make sure that you lab, or that if you at work, make sure you working overtime so that you eat, sleep, and know every command for every protocol that they asking you to troubleshoot on. All right, that was just like the cons and everything about taking the exam and everything. Was mainly just them labs. Make sure that you up on your lab game, whatever you got a lab every day, whatever it is. Make sure you up on that. Now, as far as the pros about it, I will give them that. I like the level of questioning there. It was up to par. I feel like if you study, you know, different resources, did some of your own research, you could pass those multiple choice questions. You could pass those fill in the blanks or the drag and drops and everything. So I definitely give them an A+ for that as far as the exam's concerned on that piece. Because, and the reason why I say that is because in the encore exam, I learned that the level of questioning when I went through the encore exam is they want you to know this stuff in depth. If they're going to ask you something specific, they're going to want you to know that. So that's how I approached that. But I didn't approach the lab like that. One more time for the labs, you feel me? Just make sure you lab, you feel me? Because that's where they really stung me the most. But just all that technical information from if they're questioning you about Cisco DNA or whatever they might be questioning you on, I think that that was pretty straightforward. You could find it out of just using the OCG or like following any guru on YouTube. Now I just want to go ahead and share my experience and my mindset currently and pretty much after I failed that exam. So yeah, my mindset was definitely negative and not really feeling it or trying to like didn't feel like researching anything anymore. Wanted to get away from it for a little bit. But the major lesson that I learned from failing this time around was that you could put in as much hard work and as the next person. You could get up them early mornings, do the late nights, sacrifice the time, the money, all of that stuff. But at the end of the day, in the reality of the situation, it's your execution. So did I execute when it came time to them labs, when it came time to do everything that that lab had me to do? No, I didn't execute. So nobody cares that I got up. Nobody cares that I think that I have the skills or anything like that. You have to execute. And that transitions into real world. If you at the job and don't nobody care that you stayed late or whatever, if the issue's not fixed or you don't execute your job, you don't get the paperwork turned in or whatever, you're not going to get the end result, which is that paycheck that you want. So the same thing is with this test. Make sure that your mindset is focused on execution, right? Make sure that you have laser focus on how to execute. Can I do the lab while I'm sleeping? Pretty much. Okay, this final topic that I want to speak about is going to be strategy. Because so far we talked about the insight. We already know what that exam experience is going to be like. They're going to try us on them labs. So now we have that mindset. What we talked about next, right, was the mindset. Now we have that awareness of that exam experience, taking that hit, taking that L, right? But now our mindset is like, it doesn't matter how hard we work, we're going to execute. So finally, to wrap it all up, we're going to talk about, well, it's good to talk about it, but how you going to walk that walk? How you going to really execute? How you going to have laser focus on execution? So goal setting is going to be a skill that you're going to need to develop. The goal setting skill allows you to provide clarity. And once you have clarity, then you can have self-control. What I mean by that is at the most fundamental level, human action is purpose driven. And this has been studied and psychologists have studied and you can do your own research. But just at the most fundamental level, every action by a human is purpose driven. For example, if you're tired, you're going to go to sleep. If you're hungry, you're going to go find food and eat. For my fellas, if you see you feel me? You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you feel me? So every human action is purpose driven. So the same thing is going to apply. with your goal setting. If you want to obtain the CCNA, you're finna sit down, you're gonna study, you're gonna get laser focused on that execution, right? So getting serious about it is setting the goal for it. And this framework is pretty simple and easy to follow, but you're just gonna want 3 key areas of your life where you're gonna want to set these goals, right? You want the family, the personal stuff, like, you know what I'm saying? You go ahead and put those personal goals down of why you want to obtain this certification, right? For whatever reason it is. Then you're going to put down your material goals or your legacy goals, like what things do you want to attain when you get this certification. Then the third set of goals is personal development goals. So these are probably the most important goals. So the personal development goals are all the goals that you need to reach to become the person that you're trying to become, that person that just executes on the exam. The personal development goals would be goals like the goal setting skill, trying to be a better goal setter. You can set those kind of goals. Try to become a more disciplined person, have more self-control so that you could reach your goals faster. These are personal development goals. And those 2 goals right there will ultimately bring you to that person that you're trying to become, which is the person that's going to execute on the exam. All right, that wraps it up. If you found any value in this content, please, you already know what to do. Put me in them algorithms and I'm going to holler at y'all. Peace.